Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is a new episode of Saving DMV, and today we are talking about how's the market. I do these videos once a month, just check in and say, how's the market? I think the questions we all want to know right now are, is inventory rising? Are prices decreasing? So I've scooched over to the side a little bit here so I can put up some charts and graphs, and so that you can see my new plants. This is obviously, I've got my computer right here, so I've got the stats pulled up. So let's jump in and take a look at what's been going on. So we're talking about, this is our July update. So this is the June 2022 stats. So overall DC, we have median sales price up. It's $598,032. This is up 5.8%. New listings are down 13.8%. The median days on market is up 1 day at 7. So let's jump in a little bit here. DC, just DC, as opposed to, that was the whole area, the DC area. Just DC, we have a sold dollar volume of 803.4 million. Which is an average sold price of $911,000 and change, and a median sales price of $725,000. Their average days on market is 26, and people are paying practically list price at 99.9%. So let's look at Montgomery County. Average sold price is obviously less than DC. It's $724,000. The median sold price is $600,000, and the average days on market is 12. The ratio of sales price to original list price is 103%. So people are still paying over asking in Montgomery County. All of these charts are hopefully floating right here, but also on the blog. So if you're someone who actually wants to look at all of the numbers, all of the changes, I have this on my website. I have June and 2020 and 2021, and then percentage change for all of those stats. I also have PG County on here as well. So home sales are slowing. The number of pending contracts is down 21% compared to this time last year. And the largest decline since spring of 2020, AKA our original COVID slowdown. Inventory is increasing in some submarkets, but it's still decreasing in other markets. So this is a very local issue. When you see the national headlines about inventory trends, don't think of it as a blanket position that applies to everything, because we're seeing big changes and big differences between submarkets here. So think hyperlocal, think where are you looking, not what is the national trend. Active listings are up 9.4%. This is 2 months of increases. Previously, we've been seeing decreasing inventory for the last 7 years. So this is 2 months where we've had it increasing. There is less buyer activity, and this is probably going to mean more options and less competition. So it's a nice break for buyers. I think everybody's been kind of waiting for this. But median sales prices are still up 7.8%. So if you thought that this market was going to change and therefore prices were going to be so much better, that's not what we're seeing. The home demand index is 120, which is moderate. And the demand is highest right now in high-priced single families, high-priced condos. And it is lowest for low-priced single families. So everybody else is kind of in a moderate territory. Inflation. Okay, these inflation graphs look great. Obviously, I'm being sassy when I'm saying that. Inflation was 9.1% in June, which is a 40-year high. So the Federal Reserve is meeting later this month, which is now when I wrote this before I'm filming this, so it's very soon. And we're talking about another aggressive rate hike. So we still don't expect to see mortgage rates trending with this. You know, I think everybody assumes if the Fed goes up, that means mortgage rates will go up. They are not the same thing. They are obviously impact, the Fed rate change does impact everything else, but it's not a one-for-one correlation. So we're not expecting to see mortgage rates just follow. If the Fed rate just keeps going up and up and up, that doesn't mean mortgage rates are going to do the same thing. It's probably going to be the most volatile right now as the Fed is making these changes. It's going to impact, things for these next few months. They'll be a little less certain. But from what I'm reading, everybody seems to kind of be agreeing that mortgage rates are probably going to stabilize in the low fives, 5 to 5.5%. So if you're getting a number that's between 5 and 6% right now, that's just basically kind of where it's probably going to stay for a little while. That's what we're thinking. Obviously, nobody has a crystal ball. That's the best guess at a crystal ball number. I also have all of the inventory numbers. So as you can see, inventory, this is July 5th data. So in DC, you can see that there is almost 2 months of inventory. 2 months of inventory is still a seller's market, but if you look over 2 million, you've got 3.74 months, and it is 1.92 months for under 1 million. So as you can see, it's slightly different. The most competition, as you see, in that $1 to $2 million range is what you'll expect, since it has the least amount of inventory. 1 month versus 2 months versus almost 4 months. So those are some things to keep in mind if you're looking in DC. We also have the breakdown here. This is condos. As you can see, condos are having more inventory than single families. I think most people have been noticing that. As you can see, condos under 1 million, 2.6 months of inventory. So let's look at some Montgomery County stats here. As you can see, Montgomery County has a completely different experience than DC. So for all my MoCo people, here we are. Total 0.85 months, under a month of inventory. We have 1.17 months for 1 to 2 million and 0.72 months for under 1 million. So still very competitive, not a lot of inventory. So Montgomery County is not seeing the same easing, that same break when we were talking about earlier, like, oh yay, this softening a little bit in DC, that it's a little more stable. You're seeing more price reductions from people who maybe overpriced, not realizing how much of a change things were going to be. So as you can see, Montgomery County not having that same experience. If you are in MoCo, expect more competition, less inventory, things moving really quickly, less than like DC, which is like, that's where you're going to feel the easing a little bit more than Montgomery County. And as you can see here, for condos, we have 1.1 months of inventory under $1 million. I also have a breakdown of just Maryland. Everybody knows I have a love affair with Maryland and I live in Silver Springs. So here's a breakdown. 2022 inventory is 23.2% less than last year. The average price is up 10.1% in Maryland, and there's 1.1 months of inventory compared to 1.3 months last year. So solidly still a seller's market. Maryland still doing very well. Please click through, look at the data. It's all on my blog, which is RE as in real estate, wealthrescuer.com/ how is the market? Is inventory rising, no prices decreasing? That's a terrible URL. I'm gonna have to change that. Anyway, rewealthrescuer.com/blog is my blog page. If not, scroll down till you see more articles like this and you can click through. It's the latest blog post. I will also link it in the description box on YouTube or somewhere in the comments or somewhere nearby on the other socials if you're seeing this on one of the socials. But please take a look, please click through if you like the data, if you like seeing charts, it's all there. I think it's presented very easily for review, and it's really interesting to see what happens. I would say basically, if you're in DC and you're a buyer, things are feeling better. If you're in Montgomery County, things are not really feeling that much better. So slight difference. We are expecting our normal summer slowdown. Remember, end of July, August, it's vacation times. People tend to be gone. It tends to be slower. And then we're hoping for our normal market post Labor Day, mid-September. Things will kind of pick up back again and for a few months, and then probably a normal Christmas market. That's rude. So anyway, that's what we're expecting right now. If you're looking and you're a buyer, stay in there, stay motivated. There is less competition. There are less buyers out there. So even if you are in competition, you are competing against less people. And if you're sellers, really make sure you're doing a good job presenting your house. At a minimum, you need to be cleaning, power washing, doing some painting, like fixing things up, making sure everything's working. You can't just throw it on the market and think that there's going to be a bidding war. It's a little bit different now. Buyers are feeling like they've got a little bit more power. So it's normalizing a bit more. Hopefully everybody's going to be is going to benefit from this. So stay tuned for how things happen next month. I'll probably be telling you that we're in our normal summer slowdown. But as of right now, DC, yay! Moco. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was helpful. Let me know if you need any data for a specific submarket. If there's one particular area you're looking for, let me know. This is Hannah Clancy Thompson with TTR Sotheby's International Realty, and this was another episode of Saving DMV. How's the market?